Good day, everyone, and welcome to our lecture on understanding and using the library and the internet for research. Today, we will talk about something that every successful researcher must master: where to find reliable information and how to use it wisely. Many students today believe if it's on Google, it must be true. But in research, that mindset can destroy your credibility. By the end of this lecture, you will clearly understand the difference between library research and internet research, why academic sources matter, how to search books, journals, and databases effectively, how to avoid unreliable online information. Let's begin by answering a simple question. What is the difference between the library and the internet? Library versus internet, what's the real difference? At first glance, the answer seems obvious. A library is a building with books. The internet is online. But in research, it's deeper than that. The library contains scholarly books, peer-reviewed journals, newspapers, government documents, academic databases. All of these go through experts, editors, and review processes before publication. That means the information is checked. The author is accountable. The content is credible. The internet, on the other hand, allows anyone, literally anyone, to post anything. No fact-checking, no experts reviewing. Let me show you an example. Imagine two articles about climate change. One comes from a peer-reviewed science journal stored in your university library. The other comes from a random blog written by someone with no science background. Which one would you trust in a research paper? Of course, the library source. That's why academic writing values library research more highly than random internet sources. Now here's where students get confused. Today, many library materials are online. You can access journals through databases, download academic books, read full research papers online. But here's the key. If you access it through a university database, it is still a library source, even though it appears on a screen. This includes EBSCO, Gestor, ProQuest, academic journal portals. These are reviewed scholarly materials, not random websites. For example, a student once told me, "Sir, I found my article online, so it's not library research. But when I checked, it came from an academic database." That article was reviewed by scholars. It was a high-quality academic source. So remember, online doesn't always mean unreliable database, random website. Let's now walk through how libraries actually work. Every academic library has circulation desk, borrowing books, reference desk, librarians help you research, databases for books and journals, periodicals section, journals, magazines, newspapers. Your most powerful tool is the library database system. This is where you search books, articles, theses, journals. And when searching for books, you can search by author, title, keyword, subject, Library of Congress system. Let's say your research is about pharmaceutical ethics. Instead of only Googling, you search your library database. You discover books under subjects like pharmaceutical industry corruption, medical ethics, drug regulation. Suddenly, your research becomes deeper and stronger. Libraries organize books like addresses. Each book has a call number. Think of it like street, building, apartment. Once you learn this system, you can easily locate resources. And here's a research trick. Books on similar topics are usually placed next to each other. So when you find one good book, you often find 5 more beside it. Now let's talk about journals, magazines, and periodicals. These are called periodicals because they're published regularly. Examples: academic journals, magazines, newspapers. To find articles inside them, we use periodical indexes. These are searchable databases listing article title, author, publication, date, page numbers, sometimes abstracts. You don't search journals manually. You search through indexes. What about electronic databases? Let's discuss how to use them. Many journals are now available as full-text articles, PDF files. Even if your library doesn't own the paper journal, databases can still provide access. These are still credible, scholarly, acceptable in research writing, even though accessed through the internet. So here are your final library research tips always. Print or save articles. Write citation info immediately. Author, title, journal, year, pages. This saves hours later. Trust me, every researcher learns this the hard way once. Let's summarize today's key lessons. Libraries, ICE credibility internet, ICE convenience, but must be evaluated, databases, a best of both worlds. Smart searching saves time. Credible sources build strong research. Academic writing is not about collecting random information. It is about finding reliable evidence, thinking critically, building trustworthy arguments. When you master research tools, your writing improves dramatically. I hope you enjoyed today's lecture. If you have the time, I want you to share in the discussion board on the class LMS your personal experience on the challenges of searching through the library. I also want you to react to your classmates' shared posts, at least to one classmate's shared post. Maybe you can suggest to them tips on how to make their research in the library easier and faster. Thank you, and have a good week.